Welcome back, fellas. I got another build for y'all. I wanted to make a tall ISO build that is a little different than what you usually see. It is a T-Mac build, Tracy Mcgrady himself. Yeah, I wanted a tall build that has good playmaking stats and can ISO the ball and also shoot at not just a good level, at an elite level like T-Mac could. This build has defense. This build is very quick. It can play make. You get your contact dunks. You have decent block and interior, so you will get jumps in the paint as well. Yeah, I wanted this build to kind of be like a offensive juggernaut type of build where you can really play any type of offense that you wanted to play. So like you can ISO for rim runs, you can ISO for threes, you can play behind screens, you can even guard ball if you need to. Now I wouldn't recommend it, but like if you have to, obviously you can guard ball. Like you're gonna have decent defense on this build. But yeah, it is basically a tall, like a play shot from previous years. If you know, it is a tall play shot that gets contact dunks and defense. This build will be very nice. So let's go ahead and get into the build. So the first thing you are gonna want to do is go shooting guard, 6'8", 193 pounds and 6'9" wingspan. Now the reason we went, the weight and the wingspan is just so you can get the 3-point stats that I wanted, and the weight is so you can get the 80 speed with ball for that blur takeover. Now when making this build, I will be optimizing it to how many cap breakers that I currently have at the moment. I have 5. So I was going to lower my mid-range and put those 5 in there just to get more attributes when making the build. But if you stick around, I will have a version where you don't need the cap breakers and it'll just be good instantly. It'll be elite instantly without you having to put in any cap breakers. And also, cap breakers are one of those things in this game where you will get a lot of cap breakers. They will come around. So I would recommend, even if you don't have a lot of cap breakers, I would still make the version of the build that I'm making right now, because they will come around and your build will just be even more at that elite level when they do come around. So yeah, long story short, you will get cap breakers, do not worry, and this build is good without them as well. You will still be an elite build. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put your 3-pointer at an 89 so we can get that silver limitless. Then, like I said, I have 5 cap breakers. I'm going to put my mid-range at an 88. So once I get those 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'll have Hall of Fame set shot. That way I can +1 it instead of having to +2 it. With my build specialization, I'm going to be going shooting, so I'll be able to +1 the set shot. That way I can +2 the limitless. So I'll have legend set shot and Hall of Fame limitless on a 6'8" build that can play defense like 1 through 4 and also get contact dunks. Also, the fades are really good this year. So if you'd rather use your +2 on shifty shooter rather than limitless, I can completely see where you're coming from, because silver limitless is really good on its own. I don't really think you need that Hall of Fame. So I might even, once I get my cap breakers, put the +2, because with your cap breakers you'll have a 93 midi and your shifty shooter will be gold, and you could +2 that to legend. But yeah, like I said, 89-3, 88 mid-range. Once you get the cap breakers, you'll be good. You'll have legend set shot and legend shifty, or legend set shot and Hall of Fame limitless. Next thing we're going to want to do is put our driving dunk at an 89, and then we are going to want to put our vertical at an 80. Now the reason we did this is so we can get that silver poster while also getting contact dunks. As you can see here, the threshold for the pro contact dunks are 87 driving dunk and 75 vertical. And then if we go down, you'll see 89 driving dunk and 78 vertical. Now, but we put the vertical to 80 so we can get the silver poster. And the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put your ball handling to an 86. 86 ball handle, you get access to a lot of good animations, the Devin Booker step back, things like that. And then you want to put your speed with ball to an 80 so we get that lightning launch. And not only that, with 86 ball handle and 80 speed with ball, I believe you get access to the blur takeover, which is probably the most OP takeover in this game. It is absolutely insane. No one can bump you. You just go through people. You'll just have free dunks forever. And if they're playing back, you have free threes with that legend set shot. Now, the next thing I did was I went ahead and put my pass accuracy to a 71 so we can get that silver dimer and we can still throw dimes. You have to be able to pass. Pass accuracy isn't insanely important this year, but you want it a little up just to get better passes, faster passes, for your teammates to get better catch animations when you pass them the ball, and you get silver dimer right here. So 71 is a pretty good threshold. Now for your physicals, I feel like they're pretty important this year. I'm going to go 85 speed and 85 agility, just so we're moving fast. Like, you want to be able to move fast in this game. Considering how every build is moving and every build can shoot, you have to be able to get around the court as fast as possible to try and get contests on people. But if you're one of those people that is believers that you don't need that crazy physicals, I can understand putting these down and then using your cap breakers on them later to get more attributes. That's completely up to you, but I'm going 85. Then we are going to put our strength to a 60 so we can get bronze strong handle and bronze physical finisher. Just having those badges, they might help you out in certain times, and having a little more strength helps with perimeter defense, I believe, getting more bumps, you know, just not getting completely bodied and babied. And call me crazy, but I swear it helps dunking. I'm sure there's a million videos that would completely disprove that, but it's just one of those things that I believe in my head that if I have a little more strength, I'm gonna get better contact dunks. I don't know. Now, the next important part of this build is the defense, and I will say, you will not be an elite level defender, but you will be a good defender. You can guard ball on this build. I'm gonna go 85 perimeter, so you get this silver perimeter defense badges. We're gonna go 67 steal, so you get glove and interceptor. So if you're in the lane correctly, you will get steals here and there. You won't get crazy steals. Plucks do suck this year, but just having access to the interceptor badge and the glove badge, I feel, is just really important, because you want to be able to get those steals in clutch moments where you need them. You know what I'm saying? Then we are going to put our interior to a 60. That unlocks the threshold for paint patroller. And then our block, we are going to go ahead and go to a 74. Actually, we're going to go ahead and go to a 78. So yeah, 78 block, 60 interior. What that means is we get silver high flying denier, so you will get good block animations, and also your block rating helps with jump contests. Jump contests are very, very useful this year. You have to jump at everyone. And you get the paint patroller. Paint patroller will help with contests in the paint. You are 6'8". If you jump at somebody, you will have a good contest. Now, the next thing we did is we went ahead and put the rebounding to a 60, so we get the bronze rebounding badges, just so that, you know, you never know when that might help you get a clutch rebound, because Rebound Chaser pulls you into a crazy animation. It will help. Rebound Chaser is very nice to have, even if you're running guard. Now, there's two things you can do with the rest of your attributes. If this is a park build, I would recommend putting this in a post control, so you get that bronze post fade phenom. I don't know if you know, but post fades are actually pretty insane this year. And having the badge, like, you know, you're low on shot clock, you need to throw up something stupid, so hopefully your teammate can get the board. If you have this post control up with the post fade phenom badge, you will probably hit the shot. The post fades are crazy, especially with your high mid range. Your green window will be insane. Post fades are actually pretty hard to contest too, that I've found. Especially since you're running guard, if you have a smaller guard on you and it's not like a huge lockdown, like, post fades are pretty nice. So I would put that there. But if this is not a park build and you want to play more of like fives, obviously you can throw this in the free throw. So you have the 75, so if you get put at the line, you can hit. And another thing you could do as well, instead of putting it in your post control, is throw it into offensive rebound, which I think I'm going to end up going with, just because, you know, like I said, the clutch rebound will be nice, and having 72 O board is like, you're 6'8", you have high vert, you're going to actually be getting boards like pretty decently, I feel. Like, especially those long boards that, you know, draw out real far. Like, I feel like you'll be okay jumping up and grabbing those. Like, you will get some clutch rebounds. So I feel like actually the 72 O board will probably be the best option you could go. But as you can see here, shades of Eddie Jones, Vince Carter, and John Starks, we have a two-way 3-level shot creator. Now, I know what you're thinking. This build name is played out, like, you know, you see it a lot. I do wish I could have found a cooler build name, because I like the cooler, like, unique build names, but I have tweaked the attributes so much, and I can just not seem to find a better build name with the attributes that I want. But who knows, maybe after the cap breakers it'll change the build name. I'm not too sure about that, but yeah, this is the build. Now, as you can see here, I'm going into the badges. What I think I will do with the badge maxes is, from your build specialization, I think I will put my +1 because after my cap breakers, I'll have a 93 mid-range, and my set shot will be Hall of Fame. I'm going to put my +1 on my set shot, so I'll have legend set shot. Also, after the cap breakers, I will have gold shifty shooter. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my +2 on shifty shooter. So I will have legend shifty and legend set shot on a 6'8" ISO build that gets contacts. And the reason that is so crazy is because fades are so broken. Being able to fade with legend badges on a 6'8" is insane. If you have someone smaller on you, it is almost impossible for them to get a contest on your midi fades. It is going to be so hard for them to play defense on you because they play too far up, you have a dunk or even a contact dunk. They play too far back, you have legend shooting badges. They can't leave you open. Now, what you could do with your regular tier 1 +2 is you could put it into maybe Deadeye, because you will have gold Deadeye after the cap breakers, and you could get that to legend, or you could put it in posterizer, get that to Hall of Fame poster, which is probably what I'm going to do. Now, after the cap breakers as well, I do believe your Deadeye will be on gold, so you could use your +1 on Deadeye to get that to Hall of Fame as well. This build is going to get absolutely insane badges. It is actually kind of scary how insane this build is going to be. Then moving on to the tier 2 badges, I'm going to put my +1 on lightning launch. And you might be thinking, why not go Hall of Fame lightning launch? Like, that's an important badge. 2K Labs and 2K Toots tested it, and I believe that the jump from gold to Hall of Fame lightning launch is like abysmal. It is like 1 or 2% jump in how much faster you are. The jump doesn't get crazy until you really get to like legend lightning launch. So gold is just fine. I genuinely don't think you need the Hall of Fame. So I'll be putting my +1, my tier 2 +1 on lightning launch to get that to gold. And then you can put your +2 on high flying denier. You could put it on paint patroller. You could put it on dimer. You really have options. But I'd probably go with high flying denier, I'm not gonna lie. Now, you do get more badge maxes than that, but currently I did not join a high level crew. I have a crew with just me and my 2 other friends, and so we're not getting an insane amount of crew XP, so we haven't unlocked the crew badge maxes yet. But with those, you could put it in challenger and handles for days. You could put it in like dimer. You know, you're gonna have insane options on this build. This build is actually going to be nasty build. Now, like I said, here's a version without the cap breakers if you just don't feel like making the build with lower shooting stats and you'd rather use your cap breakers on other stuff once you get them. I went ahead and I lowered the pass accuracy to a 68. I lowered steal to a 60, so you still get interceptor but you don't get glove, because glove is one of those badges that you don't necessarily need because it is, you know, plucks are just kind of bad this year. Then I went ahead and lowered your O board to a 36 because, you know, rebounding is the most important thing. And like I said, if you would rather put your cap breakers and other stuff later, you know, and just have the shooting right here, right now, then I completely understand you, and that's what I do there. And I also had to lower your speed and agility to 83. And also, like I said, you can put cap breakers there. You know, 83 speed and 83 agility is still very serviceable. If you refuse to use your cap breakers on shooting, where you'll have to wait until your shooting is good. I mean, the thing though is, I would also just recommend doing it how I had it, just because your shooting is already going to be good. Gold set shot, you already have it. You can already +2 that to legend if you really wanted to, or you could +2 shifty already to Hall of Fame if you wanted to. You know what I mean? But yeah, this is the version of the build if you don't want to put your cap breakers into shooting later and you'd rather have the shooting right now. But yeah, like I said, this is the build. This is the T-Mac build, the ISO God. You can play defense. You can shoot at not just a good level, an absolute elite level. You will be able to finish at an elite level. You will have a little bit of rebounding. You will be fast. This build really can do it all. And I feel like I actually did a decent job with the stats of kind of actually mimicking the way Tracy Mcgrady would play. He was an insane shooter off the dribble. He was a decent defender. He grabbed boards. He was quick, and he would dunk on people. Absolutely insane build. Like I said, I think I will be making this build in the future, like leveling this build up in the future and playing on it. I have not played on this build yet, but I just know with the stats and I know how I play, and with builds that I have with very similar stats, this build is like my other builds that I've made, but just better. Honestly, this is like an optimized build of the other ones that I have made. But yeah, I think you will go crazy on this build. And also, I just wanted to say, tweak this build to your liking. Like I said, I gave you 2 versions. Tweak it to your liking. Let me know what you would change. So yeah, go ahead and like, sub up. Jesus loves you, and I hope you have a good day. Thank you for watching.